There are different types of adverbs. Today we are going to learn three types of adverb. Adverbs of frequency, manner, and degree. You should have learned adverbs in the previous lessons. Let's do a quick revision on adverbs. Do you still remember the characteristics of adverbs? Adverbs are one of the modifying elements. First, the adverb is optional. It can add or delete in a clause. Second, it is not restricted in numbers. There can be no adverbs or many adverbs in a clause. Third, it is mobile. It can appear in the front, mid, or end position of a clause. Yet, there are some rules to remember. The position changes when it serves different functions. When an adverb is to modify a verb, it should be placed before or after the verb. Next, when it is to modify an adjectives or adverbs, it should be placed before them. Now, let's talk about the first type of adverbs, adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tells us how often something happens. You may take a look at the picture. These adverbs represent the percentage of how often something happens. These adverbs are commonly used in present tense. Let's look at one example. I always wake up at 6 o'clock. The adverb always tells us how often I wake up at 6 o'clock. We use sometimes to talk about some occasions that do not always happen. Here is an example. I sometimes play tennis on the weekend. We can use never to talk about something that do not happen at all. Let's look at the example. I never listen to rock music. That means I do not listen to rock music at all. There are two positions for these adverbs. First, before the verb. From the previous example, I never listen to rock music. The adverb never should be placed before the verb listen. Second, if the verb is a verb to be, such as is Emma was were, the verb always should be placed after the verb to be. Next, type B, adverbs of degree. These adverbs talk about the intensity or degree of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Look at this picture. How cold or how hot is it? We may use different adverbs to talk about the degree of temperature, such as extremely, very, or fairly. You may see that the adverbs can modify adjective, verb, or another adverb. Let's look at the third example, very. Very can modify another adverb, fast, and also an adjective, cold. There are three positions of these adverbs. First, before the main verb. The adverb almost should be placed before the main verb finished. Second, before the adjective or adverb. The adverb extremely is placed before the adjective dangerous, and the adverb quite is before another adverb softly. Third, enough. Enough is a special one. It should be placed after the adjective or adverb. The adverb enough is after the adjective big and after the adverb hard. Next, type C, adverbs of manner. These adverbs tells us how an action is performed. Many of these adverbs can be converted from adjectives. Many of them are formed by adding ly at the end of adjectives. Some adverbs are formed by changing y to ily, while some are formed by changing le to ly, and some are formed by adding ally. Unfortunately, there are a few adverbs are irregular, like well, fast, and hard. There are two positions in general. First, they can be placed in the mid position for less emphasis to the adverb. while putting in N position gives more emphasis to the adverb. Easily, in the second example, demonstrates how easily she passed the test with emphasis. For the irregular form of adverbs, like well, hard, and fast, they should be placed in the N position. Let's look at the exercise together. There are 3 parts. In part 1, you need to identify the types of adverbs. Choose A, B, or C. In the example sentence, quickly is the adverb, and it tells us how he ate his lunch. It belongs to adverbs of manner. C. For question 1, lever is the adverb. If you remember, it is one of the adverb of frequency in page 4. So it is A. In part 2, you need to change the form of the adjective to adverb. Adding ly to the adjective careful can form its adverb carefully. For question 1, the adverb of good is not goodly. Its adverb is an irregular form, which is well. In part 3, you need to change the form of words to adverb if needed, and then rewrite the sentence with correct order in the spaces provided. As carefully is the adverb of manner, we should put it in the N position. For question 1, very is the adverb. There's no need to change the form. Very is to modify the adverb fast. So, very should be placed before fast. Great! This comes to the end of this video. You may now work on the exercise. If you have any questions, you should ask your English teacher.